Life is about as good as we decide to make it. I want you to use your imagination for just a moment. What if we had a special convenience store in our neighborhood? A convenience store that didn't sell bread and milk, but a convenience store that sold thoughts. And we went into the convenience store. I stood at the counter and I looked at my change and I said to the clerk, well, I have a little bit of change here. Let's see what I could buy. Could I buy 30 cents of worry, please? And the man sold me 30 cents of worry. And then I counted my change that was left again. And I said, well, could I have 65 cents of depression, please? And then the man gave me 65 cents worth of depression. Then I counted the rest of the money that I had in my pocket, and I said, well, could I have $1.30 of crippling anxiety? Well, it's a funny story. You know we wouldn't do that, but we may do that on a daily basis. We would go in to this convenience store and we would ask for only the good stuff if we had the money in our pocket and if we were paying for it. We would decide to go in there and we would buy the good stuff even if the other thoughts supposedly were very cheap and available, because we would know that no matter how cheap they seem to be, they are no bargain. We are making a purchase all the time, my friend. When we get up in the morning, we're making a purchase on the thoughts that we will use that day. Think of your mind and the memories in your mind as a convenience mind, where you can go and you can select, you can purchase what you want. I ask each of us, including myself, to be much more selective on what we take off the shelf and what we use. Every day, we go to the convenience mind inside of us and we decide what we're going to purchase and what we're not going to purchase. Thoughts can become very, very expensive over time because we use those thoughts. And if we use them the wrong way and they produce disaster in the day, then we think about that, sometimes for over a lifetime. Our attitude determines our life's attitude towards us. Once when he was a little boy, the famous American Ben Franklin had a birthday party. And his family and friends gave him 6 pennies. That was a lot of money. 6 pennies. Well, the pennies, just as he wrote, burned a hole in his pocket. He had to go, and he had to spend those pennies. He went to the convenience store of his day, and he saw a toy whistle. He went up to the clerk, and he said, I have 6 pennies. How much is the toy whistle? And the clerk said, it's 6 pennies. And he bought the toy whistle. Well, he made so much noise with that toy whistle where he just, as he wrote, drove everyone nuts, his parents, friends, and family. Pretty soon they were asking him, well, what did you pay for that toy whistle? And he said, I paid 6 pennies. And they said, you paid 4 times too much. As a little boy, Ben Franklin wrote that changed his life. Through that course correction, as he called it, he remembered that lesson even into old age. And in many of his writings, you will hear him say, through the words, as men and women were talking about different philosophies, and talking about worry, and talking about anxiety, and talking about fear, Ben Franklin would often say about them, he would say, they paid too much for their whistle. Well, sometimes you can just make noise, and you tend to make noise often when you're complaining, when you're griping about life, especially when you're doing it to others. And it's like you're just blowing on your old toy whistle, and you have paid way, way, way too much for those thoughts. Otherwise, they would not be that important to you. Otherwise, you would not need to blow your toy whistle to friends and to family. When you go to your mind first thing in the morning, think about every thought that you're going to purchase that day, because it is like an investment if you do it right. If you fill your mind with purchases of positive thought, well, it will reap positive rewards that will overflow, spill over into other days, not just the day you're living. And what a difference you'll make when you're blowing on your positive whistle. You'll make everyone around you feel good, and they'll want to be around you. So, every day of this week, let's get into the habit of the first thing when we wake up in the morning, before we put our feet on the floor from our bed, let's think about the thoughts that we're going to purchase that day and use. And let's make intelligent purchases. Let's fill our mind with intelligent, positive thought. Let's fill our life with an overflowing of positive energies coming forth. Each of us is like a fountain. You know, you've heard me say before that we are either a vacuum or a sprinkler in life. And you've all known vacuums. But because you're a spiritual person, you don't want to be that way any longer. You have made a resolution to become a better person. You want to be a sprinkler. You want to gush forth onto others, not negativity, but positivity. And you are God empowered to do so. And you can. So, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, you're going to think about what you want to purchase. And you're going to go carefully to the shelves of your mind, and you're going to select only that can feed your mind, feed your soul, and feed your body. And what a day you will have. What an incredible week you will have. God bless you.